All right, friends, before we start our unit on multiplying fractions and multiplying fractions with whole numbers and whole numbers with fractions, I want to focus on when do we know when to simplify? Because I know that this is one of the hardest things to know. How do I know when I need to simplify? Okay, so these are some questions that we're going to ask ourselves. If the answer to a question, one of these questions is yes, it can be simplified. If the answer to any of these questions is yes, you can simplify. Okay, so the first question is the fraction equal to 1/2? Equal to 1/2. Such as 2/4, 3/6, 4/8, 5/10. In other words, is the number on the top half of the number on the bottom? Is 5 times 2, 10, 4 times 2 is 8, and so forth. 6/12. You can definitely simplify that. Now, how would I simplify it? You would just divide both of them by the top number. So 2 divided by 2 and 4 divided by 2. 3 divided by 3 is 6 divided by 3. That would give you 1/2. All of these can be simplified to 1/2, and it can keep going on and on and on. Those can definitely be simplified. The next question is, so if it's not 1/2, I go to the next question. Can the denominator be divided by the numerator equally? Can the denominator be divided by the numerator equally? For example, if I have 7/21, can 7 go into 21 equally? Yes, it can. I can divide both of these by 7 and get 1/3. If I have 4/16, does 4 go into 16 evenly? Yes, it does. So we're going to divide both by 4. This means that we don't have to do the greatest common factor. We can just do that instead. If it's not equal to 1/2, if the top numerator is not going to the denominator equally, then I say, are they even numbers? Are the denominators, apologize for that. Are the denominators and numerator even numbers? If so, you can always divide it by 2, like 10/30. We can divide by 2. So if it's an even number, it can always be divided by 2. Or we would have to divide it, let's see here. Again, we could divide it by 5 and get 1/3, but that would be one way to know that you have to simplify. So I could divide those both by 5 and get 1/3. But that is one way to know that you have to simplify. Another question that I could ask myself is, do the numerator and denominator have any factors in common? So that's when I do GCF. So the reason why I would do this is if the answer to is it 1/2, can I divide the denominator by the numerator equally? Are the denominator and numerator even numbers? If you can do any of these, you don't have to do the GCF. If you get down to 4 and these are all no, 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 then I'm going to find the GCF. You do this with every answer that you have. Go through these questions. So find GCF. So for example, I would do, let's do 6 24s. Find the GCF of 6 24s. So I would do 6 and 24, and I would find the numbers that multiply together, the factors, to get each number. Okay, then I'm going to circle them, what they have in common. They both have 2. They both have 6. And they both have 3, and they both have 1. Okay, so the greatest number that they have in common is 6. So I could divide by 6, and I would get 1/4. Okay. So here's a couple practice problems that I'm going to do for you, just as a model. All right, 2/8. My first question is a fraction equal to 1/2? Like it's the top numerator. Is the numerator half of the denominator? No. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next question. Can the denominator be divided by the numerator equally? Does 2 go into 8 equally? Yes, it does. So let's divide it by 2. Okay. If I end up with a number, I'm going to keep going. If the number has a 1 on top, it's automatically already simplified. If I get to here and I say no, they don't have any factors in common, it's simplified. So I would take 1/4 and I would say, is it equal to 1/2? Nope. Can it be divided by the denominator divided by the numerator equally? Yes, but it's going to end up being the same number. 1 does not count. They are not both even. They do not have any factors in common. That is simplified. That's how I would know. My next one could be, let's see here, 12 24s. My first question is a fraction equal to 1/2? 12 is 1/2 of 24. So I can divide, I know that this could be 1/2. Let's do 2/7. Is 2 half of 7? Nope. Next question. Can 2 go into 7 evenly? No. Next question. Are the denominator and numerators even numbers? 2 is, but 7 is not. Now I'm going to go on and try to find the GCF. 1 times 2 and 1 times 7. They do not have any factors in common. So this is already simplified. That is how you know if you need to simplify.